Discussing an oil leak in that state. A pipeline belonging to Canadian energy company Enbridge sprang a leak either late Sunday or early Monday. 3 million liters of oil seeped into a creek and flowed into the nearby Kalamazoo River.
Joining us on the line from Battle Creek, Michigan is Associated Press reporter Tim Martin. Tim, talk to us about what's going on right now and why authorities are so sure that it won't reach Lake Michigan.
Well, the company has doubled its manpower today and doubled the amount of booms and vacuums that are sucking up oil on the river. They have appeared pretty confident from the start that they would be able to stop the flow of the oil well before it reaches Lake Michigan. They feel they'll be able to stop it in Kalamazoo County, which is quite a few miles before it empties into southern Lake Michigan.
Tim, the response from the oil company, was that as a result, in part at least, from the remarks by Michigan's governor who said the response from the oil company was anemic, the word she used?
Company officials did talk this morning about their meeting with Governor Granholm. They described it as a very frank meeting. They then boosted their response pretty quickly afterward, or the plans to boost their response pretty quickly afterward. You know, did one lead to the other? That's a good question. My understanding is that they were expecting to ramp up their response to some degree today anyway, but clearly the governor's comments and other concerns in the community caught their attention, and they decided to put more resources in today.
Yeah, what are folks saying about Enbridge down there, Tim?
You know, I haven't heard a whole lot negative or positive as far as what they've done so far on the response. I think people were just surprised to find out that there was a pipeline so close to a river. You know, a lot of people don't realize that with industry, that's not all that uncommon. I think it just took a lot of people that actually lived in this area by surprise that there's been a pipeline there since 1969. And there's so much oil flows by every day.
Yeah, and this is a big pipeline that brings in tens of thousands of liters of oil from Indiana to southwestern Ontario every day. Tell us about the material that's in the water. Is the crude in the water comparable to what we've seen in those pictures of the Gulf of Mexico?
You know, I don't think it's comparable as far as the scale or the sheet. I mean, it depends on where you're at in the river.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking, Tim, is it that heavy kind of crude that we saw in pictures along the Gulf of Mexico, or is this kind of like a sheen on the river?
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's a sheen. It's more of a sheen on the river. I have not, the spots I have seen on the river, I have not noticed a lot of the oil washed up on shore or up on the banks like you've seen in the Gulf. It's at the point where I've seen where most of the focus is right now to prevent the flow. It's more of a sheen on the river. So you see the multicolored sheen floating down.
And Tim, have officials talked about any change in the timeline it's going to take them to get this thing cleaned up?
You know, they haven't talked about a timeline for how long it's going to take to clean it up. I don't think they know yet. I think they're still in that stage where they're trying to figure out, especially with the increased manpower on the river, still trying to figure out exactly how long it is going to take. You know, they haven't determined the cause. They haven't determined the cost. Still a lot of unanswered questions on that end.
I expect we'll be checking with you many times between now and then. Associated Press reporter Tim Martin speaking with us from Battle Creek, Michigan. Appreciate this, Tim. Thank you.
Well, you heard it there. It is one of the worst environmental disasters ever in Michigan. More than 800,000 gallons of crude oil spilled from a pipeline near Marshall, making its way into Talmadge Creek, then into the Kalamazoo River.
This is what Calhoun County looked like this afternoon. Oil making its way west, already showing up in Kalamazoo County. We have team coverage tonight. We start with Fox 17's Lisa LaPlante live in Marshall. She just got back from a news conference with Governor Granholm. What'd she have to say tonight, Lisa?
Well, Christian, we actually decided to move because there's a much more visual thing going on right now in Calhoun County. If you take a look behind me, you can see that they are working on containing that oil. Governor Granholm today flew by air and toured by ground to get an up-close look at this massive leak. After the tour, Granholm met with officials from state and federal groups about the impact and how the cleanup is being handled. Tonight, she said there's just not enough resources out here to tackle this issue.
This is a significant incident, and it cannot be taken lightly. We have to have all hands on deck. We have to prevent the spread of this crude. We want to send out the alarms to those who have access to resources to be able to get additional booms and skimmers here to get the oil off. Now, the containment is the big problem right now. The spread of the oil is all dependent upon weather systems. We're at a flood stage, or close to a flood stage on the river now. If we do not get containment at near Morrow Lake, then there will be far worse consequences.